Good morning, Storytimers. How are you doing today? It's Hannah here at Barkman, and today, can you tell what we're going to be reading about? We have planets and astronauts and aliens behind me. That's right, we're going to be reading about space today. So we have all of these fun space things around us to get us in the mood, and we can go out and explore the universe. Let me ask you a question before we read our stories today. Do you know, out of all the planets behind me, which planet do we live on? Do you know which planet we live on? You might be able to see it right here. That's right, we live on Earth, this one right over my shoulder. And you can see the continents in green and the water in blue. Awesome, yes, we live on Earth right here. All right, great job, Storytimer. Should we get started reading all about space? All right, let's get started. Our first book today is Astro Girl by Ken Wilson Max. What do you think this story is going to be about? We know we're reading about space, so I think we're going to be reading about a little girl who is an astronaut. What do you think? Let's find out. Are you ready? All right. Astrid had loved the stars and space ever since she could remember. I want to be an astronaut, Astrid told her best friend Jake as they gazed up at the stars. Will you bring me an asteroid when you come back from space? Asked Jake. Of course I will, Jakey. I want to be an astronaut, Astrid said at breakfast. Are you sure? Papa asked. You'll have to go round and round the Earth in your spaceship. He swung her around. I can do that, said Astrid, giggling. Could you do that? Could you go round and round and round in your spaceship like Astrid? Might get a little dizzy, huh? What about eating food out of a tube or a package every day? I can do that, said Astrid as she munched a cereal bar. Looks like Dad's making some food and she's eating a cereal bar. She's getting ready to be an astronaut, isn't she? She's training pretty well. Whoa, what's happening on this page? That looks like fun. Okay, Astro Girl, you'll also have to get used to zero gravity. Papa threw her up in the air. I can do that all day long, Astrid laughed. That looks pretty fun. Zero gravity would be a blast, wouldn't it? What about all the science experiments? Asked Papa. Could you do those, my brave explorer? No problem, said Astrid as they made rocket ship cookies. Delicious. Those look pretty good. Baking is like a science experiment, isn't it? Making cookies and baked goods. All right, now what is Papa gonna ask? Will a space cadet like you be able to sleep on your own among the stars? Papa asked. I think that will be very hard, but I'll do it, Astrid whispered. That is hard. That would be hard to sleep all on your own, wouldn't it? Floating up in the stars? I bet it would be very beautiful, though, too. At last, it was time to go get Mama. Astrid wore her favorite space t-shirt. Can you see her space t-shirt? What's on that t-shirt? I see a symbol in white. Do you know what that is? That's right. It's a rocket ship, just like the toy she has next to her. That's a pretty cool space t-shirt. What's happening on this page? Yeah, I see a bunch of people walking out. Let's see what happens. At the Space Center, Astrid and her papa moved to the front of the crowd just as the doors opened. Look at that! Mama! Astrid gave her mama a big kiss. I missed you, said Astrid. That's her mom coming down from the Space Center. Cool. Look at them all together. I want to be an astronaut just like you, said Astrid. You're my hero. How cool is that? Wow. I bet Astrid's mom has so many fun adventures out in space, don't you think? All right, and on this page we get to learn some facts all about astronauts in space. Should we read them? All right, let's take a look. Astrid learned a lot about being an astronaut. The word astronaut comes from two Greek words, astron, meaning star, and nauts, meaning sailor. So astronaut means star sailor in Greek. Isn't that a cool name? Do you want to be a star sailor? I wanted to be a star sailor too. When I was growing up, I thought that'd be so fun. American astronauts Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin were the first to land on the moon in the lunar module Eagle on July 20th, 1969. See all those pictures? We're going to be reading about all of those women next. But first we got to look at this one down here. What do you think this fact is going to be about? I see a dog in a spaceship. The first animal to go into orbit was a dog named Laika on the Russian Sputnik 2 spacecraft on November 3rd, 1957. They put a dog in space. I think they put other animals too. This person up here, you see her? Her name is Valentina Tereshkov from Russia, was the first woman in space in 1963. And the woman next to her, Shannon Lucid from the United States, set an early record for the longest time spent in space by a woman. She was in space for 188 days in 1966. And the woman next to her is Meg Harold Jemison, and she was the first African American woman in space in 1992. And next to May, we have Helen Sharman, was the first British astronaut and the first woman to visit the Mir space station in 1991. And the woman we have down here, her name is Kalpana Chawla, and she was the first woman born in India to go into space in 1997. Now we have two other facts next to all of those amazing women astronauts. Let's read about those too. Space food is freeze-dried so that it won't spill and cause any damage to machines. Fruit, bread, and nuts are okay as they are. Have you ever had freeze-dried food? I wonder what it tastes like. And our last fact, astronauts train underwater to create the feeling of floating in space. Wow! So Astrid learned a whole bunch of facts, and we just learned even more facts about space and being an astronaut, didn't we? That was fun. Are you ready to read our next story about space? This one's a little bit different. This one's called Chicken in Space. And this is by Adam Lehrhaupt, and it's illustrated by Shahir Kober. What do you think this one's going to be about? This chicken looks a little similar to Astrid, doesn't it? Do you think chickens can be astronauts? Let's find out, shall we? Zoe wasn't like the other chickens. See Zoe right here? How is Zoe different from the other chickens around her? She has a hat, and it looks like she's carrying something rolled up, doesn't it? She had dreams. She had a plan. What's Zoe's plan? I think she's going to try to go to space. She had a pig. Do you see the pig? Put your hat on, Sam, said Zoe. We're going to space. Before lunch? Asked Sam. Before pie? Is that a good idea? But Zoe was already off. She has big plans, huh? She can't stop for pie. She's got to get to space. Henry, said Zoe, come to space with us. No thanks, said Henry. I've got space right here. Not open space, said Zoe. Outer space. See Henry right there? What animal is Henry? Yeah, he's a dog. And even though Leiko went to space, Henry doesn't seem so interested in it, does he? Pip, said Zoe, come to space with us. Sounds dangerous, said Pip. Not dangerous, said Zoe. An adventure. Little mouse, Pip doesn't want to go either. Clara, said Zoe, come to space with us. You don't have a ship, said Clara. You can't go to space without a ship. What animal is Clara? She's right here. That's right. She's a cow. And what color is Clara? A brown cow. You're right. Well, no one else seems too interested in going to space. They don't have a spaceship, right? But Zoe said, not a problem, said Zoe, an opportunity. Zoe always finds a way, said Sam. Look, Sam, I found a ship, said Zoe. Of course you did, said Sam. What do you think about Zoe's spaceship? It looks pretty different from the ones that astronauts go into. A basket and some balloons. Do you think it's going to work? Whoa, chicken in space. There they go, Zoe and Sam jumping into their spaceship. Wow, they're brave, aren't they? Wow, said Zoe, space is beautiful. So is pie, said Sam. See any pie? Zoe looked. Do you see any pie? I don't see any pie out there in space. Watch out for the ball, said Sam. Not a ball, shouted Zoe. An asteroid! Ah, look at that. The asteroid's knocking into their ship. Whoa, what's happening on this page? What is that? Watch out for the kite, said Sam. Not a kite, said Zoe. A comet. Zoe's using some pretty great imagination, isn't she? Oh no! Watch out for the birds, said Sam. Not birds, said Zoe. Alien attack ships. Pop, 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 pop. We're going down, yelled Sam. Prepare for landing, said Zoe. Oh my gosh, she is using fun imagination. They're not birds. They're alien attack ships. Here they go. Crash. Oh, perfect, said Zoe. Zoe to get ground control. I repeat, Zoe to ground control. We made a perfect landing. Perfect, asked Sam. There isn't any pie. There isn't any pie, is there? They crashed into a truck. A truck with no pie. Back at the barn, the animals gathered to hear about Zoe and Sam's big adventure. We went to space, said Sam. We were hit by an asteroid. We dodged a comet. And we battled aliens. Everyone was impressed. How did you do it? Asked Clara. Zoe always finds a way, said Sam. I just wish we'd found some pie. Zoe tapped Sam's shoulder. For me? Asked Sam. Is it pie? What do you think Zoe has in her present for Sam? Not just a pie, said Zoe. A moon pie. Ooh, do you see that pie she has for Sam? A moon pie? Looks pretty delicious, doesn't it? Sam broke off a piece of his pie for Zoe, but she was already planning their next adventure. What do you think Zoe's gonna plan next? She already went to space. What else do you think she could possibly do? Wow. Well, Zoe and Sam had a blast out in space, didn't they? They weren't really in outer space, but it was really fun for them to pretend, dodging asteroids and birds, which were alien attack ships. Well, that was so fun. Thank you for reading about space with me today. I hope you enjoyed it. Next week, we're going to read about monsters. But before I go today, let me show you the craft that we have. So this is the beautiful craft. Oh no, one of my little things popped off. Let me hold it there for you. So this is the beautiful craft we have that you can pick up this week, where you can make your own alien in a spaceship with your handprint. Do you see him there? Put a little googly eyes on him. What a cool looking alien, huh? So if you want to pick up this craft kit all about space to make your own fun hand alien, or if you want to pick up any of the other toddler crafts for October, just call us at 719-562-5680 and ask for the toddler craft kits. You can grab this one about space, all of the ones for October, whichever ones you would like, okay? So I hope to see all of your fun alien hands soon, and next week I'll see you when we read about monsters. Have a good week, Storytimers.